All right, we're here at Mount Vernon Mills in Trion, Georgia. Look at the guy, Jason Gaddy there. We got Andy, and this place is pretty cool. This is where all of our denim is woven. So all of our denim is woven here. This is the last denim manufacturing facility in America at scale. And this is the place that on Sherman's march to the sea, he didn't burn it down. They were tearing up railroads, and the railroad bed is right over there, but they were tearing up the railroads and burning and destroying everything they possibly could on their march to the sea. But this place, the guy who was running it was a Mason, and he saw that, and he was also Sherman, and so he just told the people to go home, and they didn't destroy it. And if they had destroyed it, we wouldn't be making blue jeans because there would be no denim weaving left. So I'll try to get you inside here, and we're going to check this out. It's crazy. It's freaking crazy. So this facility is 1.2 million square feet, and some of the original infrastructure is still here. This is what old America looks like. It's pretty awesome. I love these old mills. There's so much history here. So much history. These are all the cotton packages. So to make blue jeans, everything starts like this. Just yarn. That's what that is right there. Yarn. And then it's got to be turned into fabric. And it goes through a bunch of processes. This is one of those processes which is called warping. And the warp beam is basically a big bobbin. So all this yarn goes onto a big bobbin, and then it has to go through what's called an indigo dye range. I think I'll show you instead of talking about it. All right, so this has got to happen first. All that yarn. Then after this, I think it gets dyed. It's crazy. There's such an incredibly complex process that really hasn't changed in a couple hundred years since industrialization started in England, in Manchester, England. Before we stole all the knowledge, before George Washington sent spies. The English papers reported they were like birds of prey on the banks of the Thames looking for the knowledge. And us savage Americans, we stole the knowledge. It hasn't changed. Machinery has been upgraded, but the process, the way you get the cotton from the ground to a finished product to make blue jeans is the same. I guess when you get it right the first time, you don't change it.
Most of the important thing we do here besides put the size on it, right here. If you're a weaver, you can't get that end back broken apart. You have no chance when it comes up into the drop so that you can actually separate the shed.
All right, listen, this is the real magic. I don't think there's another machine like this in the United States. This is called an Indigo dye range. The way this works is through oxidation, just like the Statue of Liberty used to be a beautiful copper color, right? And then it oxidizes and it turns green. Well, it's the same thing with this cotton in the indigo dye range. It goes from natural color, natural cotton, and then it's going to oxidize with the indigo on it. So it goes from a green to a blue. And it has to go into the atmosphere, right? So this is probably 40 feet high I'm looking at. Into the atmosphere, up and down, until it finally turns blue, right? So here's the natural fibers here, right? They're coming off these bundles here. They're going up, all separated, because you still got to weave the fabric. You still got to break out each one of those yarns 7,000 times. And then this is the dye range itself. There's actually 2 dye ranges here. One here and one here, which is running. And you can see it going up. And you can see it starting to turn green and the shades get darker. Check it out. It's green and then up into the atmosphere, and then it turns blue.
Basically, you're building your shade as you go.
Building your shade as you go.
Start light, you just keep getting dark. We have a spectrometer that is reading it as we go so that you don't get to the end and it's off.
Right.
So,
and how far into the air is it going? 30, 40 feet?
35 probably.
35 feet?
That's just the guess.
Here you go, look above my head. You can see it up there. This is so cool. To build this infrastructure is virtually impossible. You couldn't rebuild this infrastructure anymore in America. And so you gotta protect it. And Origin, part of this reclamation project is protecting the infrastructure that's here, improving that infrastructure, and just being good partners. Because listen, we all gotta work together to take this shit back. I mean, that's the bottom line. And I love coming to this place. I've been here a bunch, but it's so cool to see.
Just kind of get the idea of a color change here.
Yeah, you can really see it go from natural all the way to dark indigo blue. All right, so this is the real indigo. This has to be kept under pressure, which is just wild. But it's real indigo dye, and that's how you get the oxidation, by using the real stuff. And so our blue jeans are built the classic way. Now, when you think about this in America, we have EPA and all sorts of stuff we got to follow.
It is a nitrogen cap. That's what I thought. That
Nitrogen cap.
Yeah.
Under pressure is the nitrogen cap.
So it doesn't spoil.
So it doesn't spoil, right? Because indigo is plant-based. But if you think about this in like China and Pakistan, the reason the rivers are dead is because they let all the water run into the rivers. They don't contain it and clean it and make it new again. In America, we do that. And so not only like, and not to be on a soapbox here, but when you're buying product from overseas, and we all do, and we're all at fault, you're ruining the environment. You're not only supporting slavery, but you're ruining the environment. And it's just something we don't call out in Origin. It's just assumed the customer knows, like, hey, localization versus globalization means we're going to take care of the soil beneath our feet. And it's just something that's important. We should probably include that in our marketing. We don't do that enough. Anyways. So this room has the, I guess you could call them spectrometers in it. So in the indigo dyeing process, they need to make sure at each stage the shade of the oxidation of the color is correct. And so this automatically tracks it. The whole dye range is wired into this room, and it tracks it automatically, and they can tell if something's out of whack. So back in the day, they just looked at it. Now it's science-based, which is cool, which is really innovative. And then here's the lab.
Doing a little pH test.
All right, so this is our 100% cotton denim that we just launched recently. This is a Loom-state good, which means it hasn't gone through finishing yet. If you ever hear the term Loom-state, that means it's directly off the loom, has yet to see water. You know, they got to wash it down, they got to shrink it. You know, sometimes you'll brush it or suede, like our Moab fabric. Also, we're making that fabric here. That gets sueded, so it feels like, you've heard me say in the past, unicorn skin. It's a crazy process. It's just, every time I come here, I'm just like, holy shit, this is intimidating.
This will give you a different perspective. And that is a plain weave canvas, unlike denim, which is a really.
Before I let you go on today's vlog, I want to show you the history of this 180-year-old mill, which is so cool. Some of these are the original negotiations with the natives, with the First Nation, on purchasing the land to be able to build this freaking mill. All right, so like that's some real history. I'd say this is the last bit of true American industrialization at scale, that's still at scale. East of the Mississippi for sure, everybody else sold out. Like Mount Vernon Mills has not sold out. They're here to stay. We're gonna make sure of that. So when you support us, you support them, you support all the workers here, you know, you support all the cotton farmers and truck drivers and everything in between, because you've heard me say 100 cents of the dollar stays on US soil. That's proof is in the pudding. All right, that's pretty cool. That's how denim is woven, how indigo dyeing is done. It's freaking crazy to think all that shit used to be done in America, and now there's one factory that can do it. It's insane. So, hope you enjoyed that one. We'll catch ya tomorrow.